You're telling me that just 7 stocks are worth all the stocks combined of every other country with the exception of China. That tells me the concentration in there is so high that the number of buyers must be running out at some point, because everybody who was a buyer will eventually turn into a seller, and we're going to see some potential mass panic with all these sellers all at once. The Biden bull market is the story of soaring stocks isn't all it's cracked up to be. We're going to examine the stock market's performance over the first 3 years of Biden's presidency. Crucial information that's being ignored here is what the story says. Let's take a look at that. Joe Biden boasted that the recent stock market rally. He's right that stocks have been on a tear for the last 14 months. The S&P 500 hit 5,000 for the first time. And about 30 years ago, that was at the S&P 500. Now it's the S&P 5,000, it feels like. Even with all our problems, the U.S. has unrivaled alpha male nation. What? The dollar is the only currency that matters globally. This particular article has a lot of opinions in it, right? Our magnificent 7 technology firms, which include Apple, Amazon, Google, Nvidia, Microsoft, Meta, and Tesla, are close to being worth more than all the stocks combined in any other country with the exception of China. That should give you some real pause right there. You're telling me that just 7 stocks are worth all the stocks combined of every other country with the exception of China. That tells me the concentration in there is so high that the number of buyers must be running out at some point, because everybody who was a buyer will eventually turn into a seller, and we're going to see some potential mass panic with all these sellers all at once. But the Biden bull market story isn't all it's cracked up to be. Most of the gains have only made up for the miserable turns in Biden's disastrous first 2 years in office, when stocks lost almost 15% of their value. For the most part, the last 14 months just made up for the lost ground during 2022. I'm sure you can remember that. During 2021, it felt like everything you bought was just going up and up and up. My portfolio in 2021 was up 172.41%. It felt like you could do no wrong in 2021. But 2022 was a different story. People lost fortunes in 2022 because they just saw line go up in 2021 and just thought, hey, that's how the stock market works, right? It always goes up, buy every dip. And then as they were buying every dip, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So now this person's basically saying, hey, we're back to where we were if you take away all the problems that happened in 2022. It's true that in nominal terms, stocks are at record highs, but one of the first rules of investing is you need to pay attention to your after-inflation profits. If you make an investment in a widget company, and in 10 years that stock has doubled in value, but the price level in dollars of everything else has doubled, sorry, you're no better off based on what you could buy with those profits. So he's saying here is that, you know what? Yeah, things are going up, but so is inflation, right? So if you're not outpacing inflation with your stock returns, then you're not doing anything. Let's go on here. Biden's performance is also much worse than the bull market under Trump. The S&P was up 36% in real terms at this time of Trump's presidency, which is more than 4 times as high as Biden. Trump has made the case that the rise in the stock market in recent months is a result of the higher likelihood that he will be elected in November, which I think is pretty hilarious. But then again, that's how Trump works, right? The stock market is higher because I'm going to be elected in November. So everybody's excited and they're buying their stocks now. It's tremendous. It's amazing. I'm going to win bigly. I don't know how good that was, but I don't think it was very good. Investors should pay attention to the Democratic agenda if they win in November. The Biden economic plan calls for doubling the capital gains tax, taxing unrealized capital gains, and raising both the corporate tax and the dividend tax. So basically, if you elect Biden, plan on even more taxes this year, which I just saw something the other day. I'm starting to file my taxes today, and I saw that the average tax return is down like 20 to 30% compared to years prior. And people are, of course, thinking, where is my money? Why am I not getting these returns that I always have been? Right? I'm used to getting so much, and now you're taking away 20 to 30% of it. Are you sending it off to another country? Are you funding more wars with this? This has got to stop. So just keep that in mind when it comes time in November to vote. Now let's take a look at the S&P 500. We actually got a sell signal just a couple days ago, last week on February 20th. And right now, if you had been following those signal returns, you'd have seen a 114 0.13% gain, which is absolutely tremendous. So if you were in the market right now may be the time to step out. That's what I've been doing lately. I am actually out of the market, all in cash. And if you are interested in following these signals, kind of like I do every single day, I put my money where my mouth is, head over to OVTLYR.com. That's OVTLYR deal.com. And you can get lifetime access to the OVTLYR buy and sell signals just like this and so much more for one incredibly small price. And it will be ending soon. Let's take a look at what the internet's saying here. Joe Biden says the economy is growing. Do you agree with him? I had to stop right there. Is he not so creepy when he does that? Ugh. Yeah, that's he's not my favorite. That creeps me out pretty bad. So either way, I don't necessarily agree with him. As we have all seen, the economy is struggling. The economy is hurting. I don't know where in the world he's thinking the economy is growing from, because even McDonald's was saying how they are losing customers hand over fist because McDonald's has outpriced their own customers, right? This person says, never. Biden, a well-meaning elderly man with poor memory. Yeah, I don't think I'll be voting for him. The economy is growing in Ukraine, this person says. The only thing growing is his diaper and his bank account. Oh, give me a break. Hey, do me a favor real quick. YouTube is popping up one of these two videos, and I am sure that you're going to watch more. It thinks, based on the algorithm, that you're going to love to watch more. Thank you so much for tuning into today's OVTLYR Live. I'll see you on the next episode.